do it.
That's so freaking amazing, yes. All right, let's share. Oh, no. As alles net aan die go is.
Yes.
Customer training. Alrighty. It's from Big Sis.
Ja, dat kan.
What's up, Buttercup?
I see you on TikTok. I'm still waiting for that. Listen to me, not on TikTok, on Zoom. I'm still waiting for the other ones to catch up.
Alrighty.
Okay, YouTube is out. Instagram.
What a day.
Hello, E.
It's
Lekker nieuw.
it's like literally it's like 400 degrees here. It is so hot here.
Yeah, it's hot here too. Luckily, we've got the wind.
No, we've got no wind. It's crazy.
Come to Cape Town.
Nah, no thank you.
No thinking. I'm being.
I'd rather not. Your day busy?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, Bitmax Insta is good. Yours is good. Facebook good. You're firing everywhere.
Firing. And TikTok, is there more than one person?
I'm sure there is. I can't see.
Ours is just looking at makeup videos on YouTube here next to me.
Yeah.
Once.
Just coming there.
Once she's done with her makeup videos here, then she'll tell us if everything is sweet like a lemon. Where's my heavy? Is he there?
Yes, it is.
Hey, how's it? Heavy?
He's inside the house. He's got you. I didn't say hello.
Awesome. Awesomeness.
Okay, I can see TikTok is just not letting me go in. You need to refresh, but otherwise you're good everywhere.
Okay, cool. So I think we're going to just make sure that TikTok's also firing, and then we're going to continue forward.
All beans.
Alrighty.
TikTok is very
How many people are on?
Nice.
okay. I can't see.
She just closed the makeup videos there next to me.
Lekker, welcome back, Els.
Thank you.
Yeah. She tried the how not to scratch rims video as a woman, but yeah, even YouTube can't help her. There's no videos available. Hey,
Available.
indeed available. How many do you see, Alf? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure that everything's firing and then we can kick it off.
139.
Okay, perfect. What's up? Everything is firing. Hope everybody had a blessed day yesterday. It's Wednesday and it's customer training. So we don't have a set PDF for today's training. The last 3 weeks, I think it's 3 weeks. We've had a off-the-cuff conversation with everybody that joined our live. Whether you have a good, bad, or an ugly experience, please do share it with us. Else is our aircon on, homie. It's like freaking 400 degrees outside and 500 inside.
I think you put it on and off.
Sorry, I was just trying to get it to work. So, off-the-cuff conversations, off-the-cuff answers, off-the-cuff questions. If you want to ask me a question directly, all you need to do is put it in the chat. The girls and the rest of the team are manning the chat room on TikTok, or Facebook, on Instagram, YouTube, wherever you are. Please type your question on Zoom. Please type your question. They'll pick it up. They will then send it to me, and I will process your question in real time. Before we start that, just want to say what an incredible time we're living in. What an incredible time. The rate of improvement currently in the automotive industry is very, very exciting. The rate of AI deployment in our industry, super cool. Now, I see a video by Andrew Tate. He posts a video that he says Amazon is retrenching. This was 3 days ago. 30,000 employees. And those employees are going to be replaced with AI. Couple of ways that you can see this And I'm very keen always to find out how my team sees this. So without prepping them, I just copy the link. It was an IG link. I share it on our sales group, and I ask them, I've got an opinion on this video. What is your opinion? And I'm checking who is going to have a positive and a negative opinion, because maybe I'm seeing it wrong, and maybe someone else has a different perspective that I'm perhaps missing. And immediately, you start to get this sense of fear, where some of the team is saying like, hold on, AI is this good already. How good can they get? So we start a conversation. I've got a very, very good friend who runs a massive organization, very big, about 30 people. His call center. So he's got a call center, huge room, 30 people were retrenched. About 4 weeks ago, beginning of last month, 30 people were retrenched, and he's deployed a kick-ass AI call center that never gets sick, that's always on time, that never ever gets stuck in traffic, that never ever has to leave early, that is always on, and it's always at 100%, and it's always getting better. So I have about a 90-minute conversation with him, because the call center in a business like his, and in the business like ours, is actually the heart of the business. That is where all the leads flow to. So that's the bottom of the funnel. And that's where we have to pre-qualify, ask detailed questions just to make sure whether or not we're on the right product. That's where we do follow-up. That's where we generate a lot of referrals from. That's where we generate a lot of repeat business. 32 months, 36 months. There's different scripts for each and every call. So the day after, a week after, a month after, 6 months after, 12, 24, 36. So from 32 to 36 months, the conversation in that database is very different to a 12 and a 24 month. The 36-month conversation is we are soliciting an actual purchase from that customer, trading or a referral again, but we want to trade in that vehicle, because typically, as we've discussed many, many times here, at month 32 to 36, you meet your break-even point. So depending on how you finance that vehicle, whether or not there was an OA so I'm processing all these questions with him in real time. And I said, brother, you can't train your AI to be that good. He said, you're wrong. It's even better, because you can literally set a timer at 12 p.m., a.m., or at 2 p.m. You can fire off a call to this set of numbers that bought on this day, on the exact birthday, to say happy birthday, congratulations, blah, 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 fish-based. So bouncing back and forward with these lines of mine, who are absolute legends. We have the number one sales team on the African continent. And I'm looking at the guys that are still struggling with grasping the marriage to the customer concept. So you are not selling as a one-night stand, hit and run, hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. You're selling as a marriage proposal to each and every one of your customers, which means when I sell you, I want to meet your parents, I want to meet your in-laws, I definitely want to meet the drunk uncle, I want to meet all the crazy family members, neighbors, the one that screams and shouts in the middle. I want to meet everybody, because I want you to introduce me to that database. So the guys that are really good at this, snap it and say, okay, so AI, as much as they improve, will never sound like me, will never process information like me, will never, jump in and say, but I remember this, that. So what AI can do very, very well is the filing, the remembering, the firing off in sequence. But where AI actually fails, 10 times out of 10, is the building of the relationship, the growing of the roots underneath the soil, what you can't see, that bond that you create with your customer, where the customer just finds, I'm in the area, can I come in for a coffee? Do you have 5 minutes for me? Pull in, well, let's have a coffee. So 30,000 employees that were unfortunately retrenched. And if you think about it, the problem with that is most of those 30,000 people they are the main breadwinners in the house, which means once that person is laid off, you'll get a severance package that can potentially, carry him through for a month or 2 or 3, depending on how they've structured it, how long they've been at that place. But after that's done, it's going to be more difficult to get a job, because guess what? If Amazon's doing it, the other companies will follow, which means, here's what it means. Amazon makes more money after that retrenchment, because can you compare the actual staff bill, that 30,000 person staff bill, the HR weight, the enormousness of running a department that's that big versus a piece of software that just gets updated, and it's machine learning, and it continuously gets better and better each and every day. So the cost to return, the ROI for that company is going to be incredible. Everybody's watching them. What profitability will they report next quarter? Boom, everybody follows. So I guess, this is a different type of customer training that I'm starting with. And, I wasn't even expecting I'm going to go there, but it's on my heart and I have to lay it out. And for other dealerships that listen to this, other business owners, other businesses, how do you safeguard and safe-proof your crew, your team, your company, your colleagues, so that AI cannot disrupt their position? Scenario, people picking up boxes, carrying them over there, dropping them there, scanning a label, all that is robotics. Those things fly at the speed of light, and they never hit each other, they never swear at each other, there's no lunch break issues, none of that human interaction. But when it comes to our industry, the only way to do it, and it's the only way to do it, is making sure that each and every customer you serve, you marry that customer, and you grow roots that are stronger and deeper than ever, so that when AI tries to disrupt our industry, the way that we defend and protect against that is AI can't phone 5 people on my phone right now, say, "What's up? I've missed you. How have you been? How's the kid? I know that your daughter had a broken leg because of a netball incident. Is she okay? Has it healed? Is she playing netball again? Send her our love. Much respect. Have a nice day. Have a kick-ass day." So having said that, I see the questions are flowing in. Hope I've got some kick-ass ones. F2320D 655 school, you qualify. Is there a course I can buy on auto sales, Uncle Bob? Mr. Miyagi, so we have a masterclass day course that we do, but it was more aiming towards dealership owners and sales managers, and the objections and the difficulties that they have to handle. Meaning, how do you recruit properly? How do you drive sales teams? How do I, as Bobby Petcock, standing in front of 22 dealers, that was the maximum I could actually take and inject the knowledge into it, because my objective was to train the trainer, and then they train the salespeople. That was what the idea was last year. When it comes to a sales course for salespeople, I don't know. I know it doesn't exist. I don't know if I want to make mine public. We've created very slick software where we actually have an online university. So as a cadet comes in, there's a lot of, on the wall slides. This is the processes, the procedures, the expectations, how we measure why, what's important. And then we get into serious video content where I've recorded thousands of hours of video here together with the other managers on objection handling, deal structuring, how to look at a decline deal, how to look at a validation problem. Because the biggest challenge in the automotive industry is you have salespeople that have been selling for 20 years. They don't know what a deal is because they don't know how to communicate with their F&I. And they don't know how to foster that relationship between themselves and the F&I, so that there's an open door policy. And when I walk into your office, Mr. and Mrs. F&I, and I say, "Why is Mr. Miyagi declined?" Then they say, "No, very high risk. Okay, I'm busy." So the difficulty comes not Yes, please, ma'am. Thank you. The difficulty comes not by you presenting the decline to the customer. The difficulty comes by you never ever having an opportunity with that customer again because you don't know. You're not allowed to advise, but you don't know how to guide that customer because you don't know the quality questions that you should ask the F&Is. And when it comes to leading a dealership, this is the Uncle Bobby famous way that I do it. When I walk into F&I, the language is this. Without your team, without this team here, the company fails. If it's not you making sure that each and every application is loaded in a way that is perfect for the bank to approve this deal, it's approvable under the beautiful sun that we live in, it should be. If it's declined here, it means it's declined anywhere else in the country. So without you, this company fails. Close the door, walk into the workshop. Boys and girls, if it's not all your hard work and concentrated effort to make sure that each and every car goes through a quality check by 2 managers, then a DECRA, then a PDI by another manager. So 4 managers have looked at a car before it goes to our customers. If it's not for these processes and when shit breaks, there's the CRM team, 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, arranging courtesy cars. If it's not for this team, the company fails. Close that door, walk into marketing. The marketing team, boys and girls, if it's not for you making this beautiful content, putting out all the ads, making sure that all the comments are answered, making sure that everything runs, the Google Analytics, the way that we take photographs and edit each and every photo, 23, 25 photos on each and every platform. If it's not for you guys and girls, this company fails. And here's the challenge. What if everybody's in the same room? What is the communication that I use then? And it's very simple. And the first day I did it, I promise you I didn't sleep because I knew in my head and in my heart, I have to do this. If I don't do this, then everybody is serving 7, 8 guards in our company. When the leader of the company, the most important department in our company is sales. So if everybody's in the room, sales is number one, which means everything flows from sales. So when a salesperson is disrespectful to an F&I, he has to be held accountable, and that's not allowed. However, if a salesperson sits with an F&I and says, I'm going to use Tersh. Tersh, we have a decline deal. Can you guide me? Tersh needs to exactly say, listen, whatever the salesperson's name is, Bobby, how do you expect me to approve this deal when, number one, your affordability bracket is out? This customer is buying too expensive, number one. Number two, because of the trade in OA, your equity is also up. So you've got a double whammy. What do you expect me to do? There are rules and regulations. Okay, Tish, how do we make this happen? Well, your customer's PD at the bottom of the contract, okay? The PD, maximum PD that we're allowed to finance is 250. You're at 280. Okay, 30,000 Rand, either deposit or we need to go cheaper. Over and above that, the maximum over allowance with the PD cannot work on this car because retail is only 180 and you 145% off. On his risk profile, you can only finance 130. So bring me a car that will be correct on instrument and correct on equity, and I'll give you an approval. Unless that communication is very clear and the expectations are managed up front, meaning when that salesperson walks in and asks those questions, the F&I has to provide him the information for that salesperson to deliver an approval to the customer, even if it's not on the car that they applied for. We'll speak about that. So, sir, we can do this deal this way with this much deposit. Okay? But here's another deal. So you want TSI, VW Polo TSI 2021, you require 60,000 Rand deposit to do this deal for these two basic reasons. I don't have a deposit. Sweet. I've got another option for you. So we can do this Polo Vivo 2025 for this amount per month with no deposit. And the difference is equity is out here and your affordability is out versus equity is 100% aligned and your affordability is 100% aligned. This is how we can structure the deal. Do you say yes to this car? No. I want this car. Great. I'll give you this car with 60,000 Rand deposit. I don't have deposit. Great. I'll give you this car with no deposit right now today, and you can drive away. Here's the benefits, here's the specs, whatever. Once you present it that way, then it's the customer's choice to say no to you. But the customer will think about it because now you are making a logical case instead of an emotional case. No, you decline, sir. High risk. Do you understand, Mr. Miyagi, the difference between a salesperson that's a rock star and a salespeople that is not enabled, not educated and not enabled? Sometimes the salesperson is educated, but not enabled, because in most environments, the king of the castle is the F&I, and the F&I rules the salespeople with an iron fist. I'm not saying they should be disrespectful, but they should serve the salesperson. They should serve the salesperson. The salesperson is Ronaldo, the F&I is not Ronaldo. There can't be two Ronaldos on the same team. I hope that helps you and gives you a little bit of a different perspective, but that's the sort of education program that we've designed. It's app-based. You've got login details. After every video, there's tests, and the pass rate is then set by myself, depending on what we are testing for. Some pass rates are as lenient as 80%. So you need 80% correct answers on the test for you to continue with us. Some pass rates are set at 95%. Some pass rates are set at 97%. When it comes to compliance, there's almost no room for error. So that does exist. I don't know if I'll give it to the market yet, but yeah, educated, the DP or the sales manager needs to manage expectations amongst departments, and that already solves 95 of your problems that you have in your bag. Hope that helps you, Mr. Miyagi. I like your name. It's quite cool. We're commonly in blacklisted. Blacklisted 580 score. Blacklisted, if there's judgment showing on your profile, you won't get it, brother. You need to sort that out. Waiting to buy an M5, but I feel like I should save for M5 comp. Is it worth it? Great question. And I like the way you posed it. So I've had both the M5 and the M5 comp. And the reality is they are very close to each other. If you drive the two on a track, you'll feel the difference. If you drive it on the road as a day-to-day, depending on what you... If you drive an M3 and you jump in an M5, you feel like, it's a freaking spaceship versus a weapon. M3 is more a weapon, it's tight, it's scary. The M5 is just a brutal force of nature. Now, if you are patient enough and you want to wait 6-12 months to buy the comp, and you're planning to drive the car for 4 or 5 years, go for it. Wait, buy the comp. If you just want to experience an M5 and you're scared your homie next door to you says, but you should have bought the comp, then just use Andrew Tate's famous quote and ask him, what color is your M5, brother? So next question, Uncle B, what is your thoughts on buying cars on auction to sell for profit? So we're on the TikTok auctions. I stopped buying on auctions many, many years ago. And the reason for that was the auction idea is rigged. And it's rigged this way. If you have an in-person auction, the auctioneer is a skilled fighter. They've got numbers that are belonging to them. So, I'm bidding on the S3, 420, 425, 427, 428, 430, 431, 432, and then you just nod your head. Meantime, no one bid against you. So that part of you, it's like it's like playing soccer against Ronaldo's team. They're just better than you at that game. If Ronaldo goes into a boxing ring, you'll get his ass whipped by a professional boxer. But if the professional boxer goes into a soccer game, he's just going to be embarrassed. There's going to be thousands of reels where people laugh at you because he gave you, shibobo. So that part I hate because it's rigged. The other part that I don't like, especially on very expensive cars, you can't have an opportunity to drive the car. They stop the car, they rev the car. The light is always dim. You go to any one of these auction houses, they've got shit light. You can't properly see the vehicle. So I don't like it. But it comes to online auctions, I feel it's a bit more fair. As much as it's a bit more fair, the opportunity for them to rig it is also high. If you can do proper homework and you know how to check for paintwork, accidents, etc., buy at an auction. If you've checked that vehicle's history at, let's say you're buying an Audi, the car's still got plan, it hasn't missed services, you're going to have to do bumper, 2 rims, tires. If it's a newish car that is risk-free mechanically, because cosmetically you can change tires, you can fix rims, you can do touch-ups on bonnet, dents, all that other stuff is fairly straightforward. There's lots of people there. But the moment mechanically there's faults with that car, you know, it just starts with one computer box, the next computer box, and when you open your eyes, 80,000 Rand down the drain, literally, without the car that drives. And that light is still good, plus 2 more starter. So just, that's my observation there. Interested in a beautiful Ford Cougar 2014? Yes, shoot me a message with the details and I'll price it. Just finished paying my debt. I have 700 score. Can you apply if you just finished paying your debt? Stephen Darby, 700 score. Absolutely. Once the bank sees historically you've paid your debt well and there wasn't any missed payments, everything is sweet, your score is decent. This is the situation where you'll find yourself having multiple approvals. So when you apply at a dealer and they present you with an installment or with an approval, first question you ask is how many banks approve me? And I would like the podiums or the structure of all the banks so that I can make a decision. And the dealer doesn't make that decision for you, because if they have the opportunity or the luxury to make it for you, they'll always go with the deal that pays them the most DRC. The most kickback gets the deal. That's the reality. That's why you need to ask for all the deals up front. They need to be definitely upfront with it and transparent, and you make the decision. I want to go with Westbank because they give me 13.4% and 72 months with 25% balloon. I'm happy with this installment. Boom, you carry on with life. Wanting to buy an M5. Okay, we had that question. First time joining. How do you keep the balance between keeping the team disciplined and also motivated when dealing with customers? That's a good question. So keeping the team disciplined and get motivated when dealing with customers. This is probably to the right audience or to the right person listening. I will make you 50 million Rand in the next 5 minutes if it doesn't go over your head and if you actually understand the knowledge and deploy it. You cannot treat salespeople like staff. I always say, we at Midnac, we are not a family. We are an elite team. Elite, award-winning, #1 in the country in everything that we take part in. We take part in F&R of the year. We kill everybody 3 years in a row, back to back, to such a degree that last year #1 and #2 was ours. We want to get 1, 2, and 3 this year, but it's going to be a hard one, but we're going to try our best. Now, having said that, this means each and every person in the team is as valuable as I am. As valuable as I am. When you receive the lead as a call center agent, you need to make sure, for those that watch rugby, you need to make sure that you don't give me a hospital pass. Okay, you need to pass the ball nicely so I can catch it. For those that watch soccer, if the salesperson, if I'm the Ronaldo and you're the midfielder, you're not going to give me a through ball that I can't run, catch, cross, or score the goal. You can't kick the ball through so that I have to sprint all the way there and I still miss it because it goes out for a throw-in or for a kick. Then once that ball is passed, the importance of that lead needs to be understood by the salesperson. How many departments had to perform at the highest level possible for you to get that lead? Now you can't miss that penalty, because now we've got a penalty. And you are Ronaldo. You are Mike Larry. I had a guy from me yesterday, said, I'm Mike. I said, what's up, Mike? Mike Larry from Bad Boys. You are King Dingaling. You need to score the goal. Okay. When you miss, and you've tried your best, This is how I keep them motivated. Right. The enthusiasm and the level of diligence that you had when you took that penalty. Okay. Does the next customer deserve that much enthusiasm and that much diligence and that much respect for that call? Or does that customer deserve less because you couldn't close or you didn't like what the customer on the previous call said? Okay, as much, if not more. Now, having said that, here's how you process it as a salesperson. So I'm giving you both sides of the fence. How do I do it? And then how does that salesperson actually speak to themselves? At some point of that conversation, you cocked it up, whether it's on the phone, on a WhatsApp. Identify as a professional where you cocked it up because everything is your fault. Maybe your tonality dropped. Maybe you slipped in. If you're speaking to an elderly person, Malume, and you slip in an F-bomb, respect is lost. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to listen to this. Where did you cock up? Where did you make a mistake? Identify that and improve there. It doesn't help crying over spilled milk. You can make mistakes. Salespeople in my team, I encourage mistakes, like make lots of mistakes. Where we're going to have a tough conversation is don't make the same mistake over and over because it means you're not learning, you're not growing. So you have to make mistakes. I have to explain it to you each and every time the same way until you snap. You know, my brother-in-law, I don't know whether he's watching this or not. I've said this behind his back probably a couple of 100 times. I've never said it to his face, but I will one day when I have time. He used to manage Midnight One. His name's Chris Liebenberg. He's the best manager that I've ever had. Okay. You know, once he left, I was very angry and very emotional, never lost respect, and I'll never take that title away from him. We are family now. He's my homie, he's my heavy, you know, we're going to die family. And he found me the other night. He said, Bobs, I watched your live. I've got a question. When I explain a process and a procedure to someone, how many times should I explain it in a different way, in your opinion, until that person catches that concept, snaps? And I said to him, here's what PBD taught me. There's 8 of us at his house, and he says, do you guys consider me intelligent, very intelligent, or hyper intelligent? So obviously we're in a R500 million house with a 1 billion rand yacht parked in front of it, and Messi's his neighbor. I say, sir, in the environment that you've created for us to ask you this question, you are hyper intelligent. He says, Bob's, appreciate the compliment, but I'm not. And I'll explain why. I'm intelligent, not very or hyper. I'm intelligent. I'm not going to say I'm not. I've taken IQ tests and I'm just above average. For me to understand a concept, you have to explain it to me 7 times. 7 times before I actually get it. Okay. An intelligent person. All right. If you go to average intelligence, or you know, someone that's very young, hasn't had the life experience and hasn't had the tough, difficult conversations, the one-on-ones, hasn't been fired, hasn't had a loss in their life, that person is not even average intelligent. It's below average intelligent because you need those life skills, right? 32 times before they snap it. And the challenge is, as a manager, sometimes you want to explain a concept differently every time, and it never lands. If you explain a concept the same way every time, each time you explain that concept, it gets deeper embedded into that salesperson's mind. So if it's a 5-step process, by the 3rd time I've explained it to you, 2 steps are in the back. I know, I can see you snap 2 steps. Even though you said to me, I understand all 5, I'm going to go kill it. In my mind, in my heart, I know you don't. But we are 2 steps out of the 5 along the way. And when you stumble again on step 3, I'm going to explain step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and step 5 again. Now, over and above that, each person has a different personality and is driven. Most importantly, this is the 50 million rand answer here. And this is what PBD taught me the entire weekend. We spoke about this with the other 8 guys that were at his house. Each individual is driven differently. You have your lifestyle individual. With us, Eds, but our Eds has an M4 with a sunroof. It's like 1 of 5 in the country, or whatever the number is. Very few. Everyone's jealous. They were offering him like 200K more than what he paid for it. Lifestyle driven. It doesn't mean he's not family oriented, because people always confuse those things. So he's lifestyle driven while family oriented, but lifestyle is his main driver. So if I say to Ed, we're going to work extremely hard and you're going to break 35 cars. And once you break 35 cars, you're going to become a manager and you're going to lead your own team. And then that just, it crashes and I lose him and you'll like walk around and be like, is this guy freaking crazy? Manager. I'm not a manager. I'm a top G. So Ed, here's how I drive Ed. Ed, at 32 cars, this is the incentive. This is the income. Now, I know we bought a house in Pretoria East. I know your kids are going to a private school, best education. I know you're rocking LVs and Gucci's and sparkly shoes. And I know you've got the MK1 Golf and the sound system. I know that you've got like extra rooms for extra income at your previous posse. I know all of that. But is your tummy full? No. Okay? Let's say your net worth is X. Did you know that? And then I'll say this person that he knows, this person's one car is X. Did you know that? Holy shit. Like, yes, calm down. Everything's fine. We need to catch him. How do we catch him? We catch him by thinking bigger. Okay, so that, all those things that I just mentioned to you is well done. If your tummy is full, we have a problem, because I will never accept your tummy full. I'm going to make it an uncomfortable situation for you. I need your income to grow. Let's fucking buy another 2 houses in Pretoria East so you can rent them out. That's a lifestyle person that is prepared to back up his word by putting in the effort, by putting in the time. Okay. Then I'm going to flip it to another person. You have a psycho-competitor, okay? Driven by madness. The word is called madness. Everything okay else? Everything working fine. No problem. Can I have a sweet, please? Put it there on the counter. So you have a person that's driven, thanks, Els, that's driven by madness. Okay. There's 1 or 2 that's driven by madness in our office. Very fun to work with, but very, very hard to work with as well if you don't understand the love language. One of the bank individuals will come to me and say on the 20th, because sometimes they watch my live as well. Sometimes they watch the live as well and say, Bobs, you're doing very well, but there's a certain dealership in Gazina that has actually paid 2 million rand more than you, and they financed 12 cars more than you this month. So as well as you're doing, you're not leading. Now, I don't know of anything else that anyone else can say to me to make me work 27 hours in a 24-hour day. There's nothing. Money won't motivate me. A promotion, nothing will motivate me more than that, because I'm a psycho-competitor. How do I deploy that in our sales team to another psycho-competitor? Very simple. On our main group, I did it the first. Yeah, I did it on Saturday. On our main group, I go to a psycho-competitor and I call him out in front of 200 people. I tag him. You had a kick-ass month. Congratulations. You've been with us for so many years, but this person that's been with us for 9 months worked your ass up and down the big stage. They killed you, bro. If I'm you, okay, if I'm you, I'm not going to be in this position again, but that's me. What the F are you going to do about it in the month of November? Same. I haven't seen that boy until today. I posted that message on the 1st. I have not seen him. Come to the coffee shop, come and hang out and smoke cigarettes with the guys, come and talk shit. I have not seen him. Mission completed, because that's his love language. He is freaking grinding, and he will not lose to the person that beat him last month. I can't motivate him with money because he earned a lot of money. An extra 5 or 10K on his salary, it's not going to make that shift in his brain as much as I made it on that message. And also calling him out public, because I know he can handle it. I don't need to call him out privately anymore because I've done that thousands of times publicly. So if you figure out how a salesperson is wired, you need to walk them through the process on how to handle a loss. Very, 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 very important because people don't know how to lose. I fucking love losing. The moment that I lose is the moment that I'm going to get a lesson, and I'm happy, I'm smiling because guess what? There's one less way I'll lose in the future. You find after 10, 20 years, you're losing a few times in a month, not every day. Having said that, I hope I added value to the right audience. You can thank me by sending me a big Cuban cigar. 590 Gerrit Marit Street. I'm indeed available. On Nando's, hot pot mild with a quarter chicken leg mild. That's my favorite.
Nice.
Uncle Bobby, tell me what's the best car in your opinion that's light on fuel? Bro, such a difficult question, man. I don't know who you are. I don't know what your lifestyle's like. I don't know what your affordability is like. But an Ascot Grey Polo Vivo with 17-inch wheels, with a nice sound system with Apple CarPlay. If you're under 30, man, and a field bar in the back packed with cars, I don't know how much more of a G you are than that. So that's my opinion. Why not allowed to advise? Great question. So you are allowed to advise if you have the qualification. Salespeople in general are not pushed and driven by their sales managers due to the fear of either losing them or them becoming more competent than they are. For a manager, before he started working with me, where the guy was scared to make a decision on the trade, was scared to make a decision on a car to buy, was scared to make a decision on a discount, was scared to make a decision on an over allowance, was scared to sign up a customer until that, just coming out of fear. That person will then, at the end of the month, manage expectations and hand out written warnings to salespeople that sell cars because they're scared. Okay. Now, on the flip side, the moment you join us, I want you to study. I actually want you to become better than me. I want you to be a better closer. I want you to be a better finder. I want you to be a better F&I. I want you to be better at marketing. I want you to be better at Google AdWords, at Facebook ads, at creative, at Canva. I want you to be better than me at everything. What I want to be the best at is bringing capable people together to work together. So my job is a synergist. My job is to create an environment where lions can walk amongst each other, sometimes bite each other. Lions, not hyenas. The difference between a lion and a hyena is when a hyena is between a couple of dogs, he or she is boss. But when the lions walk in, then it's quiet, and you've seen how hyenas hide. A lion is a lion everywhere they go in the freaking jungle. When a lion walks around and there's an elephant or a freaking crocodile or a cheetah or 10 hyenas, the lion remains a lion. And that means I am extremely capable and effective in my position, and I'm not scared of anybody. If you have, and I also don't have an ego, that's the other thing about lions, an ego that's in my way. All of them have big egos, but it's not in their way. So, for example, someone brings to our head F&I, brings a very good idea, a cool idea, and says, listen, I've seen this. Perhaps this can help us in the process. Like, holy moly, I just need to grab this. Top G, I'm on the live, sir. Is it an emergency?
No, I got another line.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'll call you as soon as I'm done. Appreciate you. Bye-bye, sir. So someone brings in a great idea. Logic wins. That person immediately gets brought forward and said, XYZ person brought up this idea. We were doing it this way. And from today, we're actually going to save 3 minutes on every application because of this chick's idea. She's freaking awesome. Like, why didn't we think of that? We don't know, but we're glad we have you on our team, and you are a freaking machine. Thank you very much. So public praise. There's no ego like, oh no, we're not going to use this idea because I never came up with it. That's how I know. That's not a lie. So over time, I've learned this small little tactics and skills to identify because the hyena is also a big dog amongst dogs. But when the lion walks in, boy, the hyena is always like this. So I hope I added value. You cannot advise unless you have the qualifications. Most dealerships don't allow their salespeople to qualify for fear of losing them, or the manager fearing them become better than them at their job, and they actually fear job security. It's fucking crazy, but it's true. So you'll be suppressed, I'm not saying all, but at some dealerships, you'll be suppressed because the dude that's leading you is actually fucking scared that you're going to be better than him at his job, so he'll suppress you. Messed up. Your friend selling an Audi TT. Do you think I should go for it? I can't answer that question. 30,000 is not a lot of money. If it drives and it's got papers, I don't think it's a wrong buy. All your experience in the motor industry, sales industry, what are a couple of ways you believe work the best in current market time to success by bringing in customers through prospecting? Okay. Good questions. All your experience in the motor industry, in the motor sales industry, what are a couple of ways you believe work that best in the current market and time to successfully bringing customers through prospecting? Okay. So your most valuable asset as a salesperson is your database. It's your CRM. And 99.9999 to the power of 100 salespeople don't actually understand. They don't know that that is where the gold mine actually is. So the hardest people to sell to is people that you don't know. Fresh lead comes in, never bought from us, never spoken to us, never dealt with us, never had an experience with us, never ever actually received the product from us. Those are hard, very hard, because they don't know what we know. Drinkers. Hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie. They don't know how much care takes and how much passion and how much time investment, money investment we put in each and every vehicle before we send it out to the customers. They don't know that. So now we're going to have to walk them through the process. But now you sound like everybody else. So how do you do that? You need to explain your process from start to finish. You need to use your tonality, storytelling skills, public speaking skills for you to carry over that message. Now, after that, once that customer experiences what you promised them, then it becomes easier. Okay. The second type of person that you can sell to is people that you do know, people that have bought from you. But the third and most valuable, the easiest to sell to, is people that your people know. Okay, so people that your people know is this. I sold the car to Mr. Miyagi about 20 minutes ago. Mr. Miyagi had a fantastic time here. We had a jewel. He received some merch. He's got a Uncle Bobby out cap, rim scratcher cap for his wife. They've had the car for 3 months. Mr. Miyagi, how are you, sir? Just want to reach out. I'm thinking about you. I actually sold a vehicle to a customer and a family very, very close to yours. Husband and wife, no children, very young. This is the type of car that they bought. And just snap, I need to give you a call. Hope you're doing well, sir. And also remember, I made a commission on your car. I made 2,000 Rand on your vehicle. Yes, 2,000 by a couple of vehicles that I sell a month is how I support my family. But how I really, really maintain my household is through referrals and repeat business. So I just want to remind you, I know I asked you before, just want to remind you, if you hear of anybody that is looking to receive the type of service that I gave you, personal, bespoke service that I gave you, I'd really, really appreciate it, and I'll treat them with respect and the kindest care, exactly how I treated you. So if you have a name, just shoot me a name. I will gladly serve them. Boom. Now he phones Mrs. Miyagi's cousin who's looking for a car. Listen, bro, don't mess around with these dealers. Uncle Bob, he sorted us out. He was on the ball. And when something happened, this is how they fixed it. You know, he's the guy. Don't go anywhere else. Perfect. That person then phones you or you get the number. That person is the easiest person to sell to. He's already qualified. He's looking for the car. He's an in-market car shopper and he's validated by your friend that you've made now and their family. I want a red whatever, and I want to pay so much. Away. Boom, 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 easy to sell to. Problem with salespeople is they don't treat each customer as a marriage. It's a one night stand. Bam, next. Bam, next. Bam, next. Hey, you didn't send me a spare key. CRM, this guy's bothering me about a spare key. Sort him out. All of a sudden, CRM's got the relationship, and you, as the salesperson, are an absolute amateur. There's a nice Afrikaans word. You're a muhu. Can I use that on camera? I just did. You're a muhu. Now the CRM's got a better relationship with your freaking customer, and your customer trusts the CRM person because they give them the spare key, apologizing because you're weak and you didn't tell them there's no spare key, and now you've lost that relationship. This is a breakup. You don't understand that it's a breakup. And so many people have worked so hard to provide you the opportunity to marry lots of people, and you just cocked that up. Hope that adds value and some insight that you didn't have. And my WhatsApp like completely bombed out. Let's go inside here and have a look at some more questions. Alrighty. That's it. No more questions, guys. No, there's more. Sorry. Bob's welcome to Durbs. Hey, what kind? What kind? Durban North. Hope to bump into you. Dwayne, oh, appreciate you, brother. We are actually doing so well in Durban. We are buying very, but very, very nice cars in Durban. And the Durban community actually love cars. You can see it. People love their cars. The one thing that I had to get used to is you don't call the papers actually ownership papers. You call it a logbook. So the first time I said, so I don't want the service book. I want the registration papers. Say, yeah, I've got the logbook. No, not, I want the papers. Yeah, Bob's the logbook. Send me a photo of the logbook. Is this the logbook? I said, okay, this is what people in Durban call the registration paper. So I know when you say logbook, it's the actual paper. But I'm enjoying the Durban customers the most. You guys, the lingo, the style, the finesse, the amount of negotiations. Yeah, iron sharpens iron. And this iron is a lot sharper because the iron that side in Durban is very, very sharp. So salute. Thank you, sir. Uncle Bobby, what 5-liter Mustang manuals with 24? What does a 2016 5-liter Mustang go now? It's a manual. It's very hard for me to give a price off the cuff. If you send me the car on WhatsApp with all the details and the disc, I'll just check the health of that vehicle's history on paper, how many owners, etc., and I'll give you my opinion. But very hard off the cuff. Manual Mustang is not easy to sell. Manual Mustang is the most fun. So it's a lot easier to sell an auto, but it's a nicer car in manual if you love manual cars and you love driving. I freaking love a manual Mustang. When you put it from first to second and that back comes out, it says, how's it, boss? It feels like an M3. It's awesome. I love Mustangs. In fact, I love Mustangs so much, I'm driving one today. It's a California special. I think there's 50 in the country. We have two. We have a light blue and a dark blue. I freaking love that car. It's like it's a proper car. Buy a Mustang, my man. Buy a manual. You freaking love it. How would you create a memorable and trustworthy experience for a first-time car buyer? What specific actions would you take during the first interaction to build the confidence and the trust that you do? So I love your question. Here's what you need to understand, and you need to understand it very, very clearly. I would deliver a McLaren for 5 million rand to a customer that's bought 15 cars from me to his house, there in front of the yard, give him the keys, or meet him for coffee at a mall, or on the sidewalk next to the dealership. I couldn't care less. I will deliver a first-time car buyer, a Suzuki Swift or a VW Polo Viva, in the coffee shop with 100 balloons, with merch, with I'm gonna go all out. Music, favorite song. His name will be on the TV. I want tears. Okay. So if a salesperson makes a customer cry, they get something from me. Not gonna give away all my secrets. Okay. If you're a first-time car buyer, you need to have tears in your eyes. Okay? Whether parents buying it for you, if a parent's buying it for you, we all cry. That's just the rule, including me, because that's a very special, memorable moment. But here's the advice I want to give you. A customer that buys from you for the first time, he will never forget that. Okay? And here's the downside. You must make sure that never again in his life has he been treated that well, and it will be as memorable, because it won't. It doesn't matter if that customer grows from a Polo Vivo, and then I've got customers that have bought Golf 8Rs from me. The first Polo was the round lights they bought from me, like 60 grand car cash. Even the Golf 8R is not as memorable and as special as that 60K Polo, and it will never be that good again. So if that customer by chance buys from another dealer, they cannot compete on emotion and on feeling. Always over deliver, go balls to the wall. Even if the dealership that you work for doesn't allow you to buy a gift, spend a percentage of your commission, buy that customer a thoughtful gift, a kick-ass gift, buy them a pair of All-Stars or a pair of Takis, buy them something, buy them a card, a handwritten card, buy them a pen. Don't buy them dope. Okay, don't be stupid. Buy them something memorable that that customer never forgets and never ever in his life. I wish every customer to buy a Bugatti in every color, but I know that specific customer that bought a 60 grand Polo from me, and I over delivered on every single expectation on the delivery with my team. They can treat him however they wanted. They can fly him to the Bugatti factory. The 60 grand Polo experience is better, and it will never be beaten. That's how you need to treat it. During and after the purchase, and how would you ensure you retain the customer for life? That's on you, brother. You actually need to care. Boom. You actually need to care. And the difference between you caring and you not caring is, are you in the motor industry because you don't have other options? Or are you in the motor industry because you love the industry and you know it will change your life? And your intent is that you retire in this industry and you make a career out of it. And I always say, and I'm not punting my friends, I'm not punting anybody that went to school with me, that went and graduated and had degrees and lawyers and doctors and everything. When we as bras hang out on a Sunday at Aroma, I take the ball. Okay? I take the ball. When I was selling cars, I take the ball. Because 2.5 to 3 years into selling cars, actively selling cars as a salesperson, I out earned everybody 5 to 10x. Okay? They never saw me because I always worked, but I take the ball. And that for me is not to brag to them. I'll go to the toilet, boom, I'll ping my card, I'll take the ball. And then everybody's like, hey, where's the bill? Can we get the waiter? Before there's a fight, the waiter's like, homie, it's all paid for. Cheers. Have a nice one. They don't even know I paid. Okay. But because I took this industry seriously and I wanted to make a career out of it, and I want to do this for the rest of my life, and I approach not like a cosmos. I approach it as an absolute professional and an elite athlete in this sport, which is buying and selling cars. Hope that gave you a perspective. Okay. Why is it easy to beat a sales person from a franchise dealership than like an independent dealer like yours? Why is it easy to beat a salesperson from a franchise dealership, and not a different environment, brother. So your typical franchise dealership is you have a DP, and then you have a sales manager, and the sales manager is busy chaffing the F&I. The DP is also busy chaffing the F&I, and he never gets out his chair because he's too freaking fat, and he's 50 kilograms overweight, and he's fucking negative, and he's got bags under his eyes because he probably drinks and smokes and uses drugs. Okay, now those that don't. An order taker system has been created by a hierarchy bureaucratic system. I'll take Suzuki, for example. I always give them shit because I simply cannot understand how the management operates in that environment. And the reason why I can't understand it is, you know, they've got this fantastic product. It's an amazing product. If they are more dynamic, the Chinese will never eat their lunch. Ever. But they're busy eating their lunch. They're eating their lunch because nobody wants to take decisive decisions and be aggressive. Nobody wants to go in the trenches and shoot with the salespeople and fight and wage war with the salespeople. Having said that, you're left on your own. You just need to deliver forecasts to stay out of shit. You happy because you drive a company car home that you can never fucking afford ever in your life, ever. Okay? But on the weekends, you're top G because you're driving a new whatever the fuck you drive. Okay? And then you're earning a basic plus a little bit commission every now and then, and you fight for fuel vouchers. Okay. Well, my Lions are fighting to do 6 in 1. 6 cars in 1 day. Because then they get double the 3-in-1 bonus plus first to 10 or first to 15 or first to 20. So they're earning your annual salary in a couple of weeks. Right. You cannot compete against an army led by a lion. That's my answer to you. How important is employee lifestyle when you measure it against company values? Super important. Super important. I want Eddie to drive M4, live in a kick-ass house. My managers to be very well taken care of financially. We can worry about a million things, not about money, because we put in the hours. We can worry about AI and how are we. So two of the top 5 managers in our company have been actively trying to corner me and convince me that me answering each and every WhatsApp that comes from our customers, from South Africans that vote with their hard-earned money to speak to me and buy a car from us is a bad idea. Actively trying to corner me. They don't say it's a bad idea, and they are putting me in a position where they want to inject AI technology to help me so that I don't need to answer each and every WhatsApp myself directly. I sidestepped them this morning, and these are people that I've got the highest respect for them. I will die for these people. They are elite in our company. Elite. Okay, I don't know. Probably one of them is watching this, maybe both. However, tomorrow, I can't sidestep them. So tomorrow, after our management meeting that we have weekly, it's an hour and a half where we process good, bad, ugly. They've booked a meeting with me for an hour. And tomorrow, we're going to logically argue and debate. And the winner will win. But I'm going to prepare tonight because I know what shots they're going to throw, what right hooks and kicks and scratches and spits and throw things at me that I'm going to have to deflect. Why? From the one point of view, they are correct, 100% correct. Because I'm in my WhatsApps all day, I'm chopping trees and I'm not on top of a tree leading the company. But what's required currently, right now, for my medium to long-term plan is to build a brand so big, by leading that drive from the front that no one ever has an opportunity to compete with us in terms of brand because I'm doing it myself. All right. Now, am I going to fight and pull rank and say, no, I can't? if their logic wins tomorrow and there's some sort of AI deployment which has already been allegedly been tested for the last 2 weeks during non-working hours, Al. So, do you know about this? Did you know about it?
No.
Are you lying to me?
I'm not. I know I'm smiling, but I'm not.
Did you know about this?
I didn't.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Elena, did you know about this? Text me. Text me. I want you to text me. So, allegedly, for the past 2 weeks, we've had super slick AI that has been deployed in our company after hours in test runs. So, these two people have been working until 1 a.m., 12:30, and they're going to present me with data. So, now I don't know what right hook is coming. But to answer your question, how important is it? It's hyper important. I want to incentivize my team on merit. If this, then this. And once we reach the merit, this is the difference between a franchise dealership and us. Elena is typing. Let me see if she knew about this. Some chick said, no, sir, did not know about it. Ha! So only those two knew about it. Interesting. And she won't lie to me. Else, did you know about it?
I did not.
Else also says no. But how important is it? Hyper important. We have to have goals, markers that if achieved, that incentive is paid. And then the goalpost is not fucking moved because that's a franchise dealer. This guy's making so much money, his target goes up. And then he says, yeah, my guys are demotivated. Yes, because you're a fucking retard. How do you shift your target when your people are achieving their target? How do you make it bigger? Are you drinking? Like, what's wrong with you? I want to punch you in your face. Yeah, Bobs, why are you getting angry? I said, because you just lost your people, bro. You know, now they're staying with you because they have to, not because they want to. They're staying with you because they have to work for you. They don't have another option, not because they want to. I want my people to have options, but I want them to stay because they want to. Okay. Having said that, we have potentially about 11 more minutes. Let me see. There's so many questions, man. Okay, employee love stuff. Proud mom, one of you salespersons. Okay, proud mom of one of your salespersons with love. Ma'am, thank you so much. I really apologize about the last 30 seconds rant, but I'm passionate and sometimes I get very passionate and I'm so sorry. And then sometimes a F-bomb comes out because I'm passionate. So I'm sorry, ma'am. I wish I could take it back, but I can't. So I'm sorry. It upsets me when environments like that are created where it's demoralizing for salespeople. Because you asked me to achieve this, and the moment that I achieve this, you just shift the goalpost, and I can now never hit it because I know it will shift again. You know, even if I work 25 hours a day and I hit your next target, you're just gonna pick it up. So why even try? Why even try? So appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, and I'm sorry for the bad word. Never seen a best humble guy in my life. En goeie werk. Ek is nie eers 'n motor. Okay, appreciate you, man. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm just me where I go, and appreciate you. Thank you very much for the compliment.
Sorry, just a minute.
Mhm.
Just call out the person before you answer the question.
Okay.
So that they know.
Ntandutlo. Just gave me a nice compliment. I accept it. I'm not going to read it. I really appreciate you and humble. Humble guy, and you're not in the automotive industry as well. And humble has like it can be a bad thing, but in this situation, I know you mean well. But humble is. I was very humble for very long, and it was very very wrong for me. And I'll tell you why. So being humble the whole time, even allowing people that don't know how to do something, allowing them to make the mistakes for way too long cost me a lot of growth in the business. I went and hired, the biggest names in the industry with the biggest CVs that had the best education and they just couldn't perform. I was being humble because I didn't have the best education. I didn't have the best CV. I didn't have the experience, but I could outrun them and I could outwork them and I could outperform them in certain areas. And because I was humble and allowed them to lead me, that was wrong. But being humble to say, this is who I am, I'm flawed, these are the areas that I've made mistakes in, these are the areas that I'm freaking good at because of these mistakes and learning these lessons. If that's what you call humble, I take it, sir. Appreciate you. Tandu, cool. Thank you, sir. Yuan Pinar, I'm a big fan of John Maxwell. He's big on servant leadership. How do you see the practicality? Like, if I have to name my top 3 authors, it's John Maxwell, John Maxwell, John Maxwell, and then the rest. So really, really coming from a place of, I leave you better than I find you. I'm here in the trenches with you. And this is the most famous John C. Maxwell quote. And I'm going to put a smile on your face if you're still watching us. Everything good is uphill. That's what he always says. Everything good and everything worthwhile is uphill, which means everything that you are trying to improve in and get better in is difficult and it's hard. I'm going to go back to Andrew Tate, and he, love him or hate him, I watched a phenomenal reel. Maybe can I share a reel to you, and then you can maybe share it, but maybe some people didn't, they won't understand the context. But if you want me to share the reel with you, send me a message and I'll share it with you. But here's what he says. He's just done sparring, and you can see he's been hit a bit, and like the one eye's a bit blue, and he's drinking water, and they're asking him, why are you going up against the heavyweight champion? He's got a fight in December. Why are you doing that? You don't need to lose your aura. Can you imagine? Top G gets laid out on his ass, on his back there. The guy gets a right hook in, and he just fucking knocks him out. And there, Top G, Mr. Bugatti, what color is your Bugatti? Is on his back, and they count him out to 10. Can you imagine the embarrassment and the hit to the ego he takes if that happens? Like, he lost his aura. And you know what he says? And I freaking love what he says. He says, he's bigger than me. He's younger than me. He's more athletic. He's in his prime. I'm retired 10 years. I haven't fought in 10 years professionally. I'm supposed to lose. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm getting goosebumps. That mentality is just freaking amazing. We compete against dealerships that are publicly funded. We compete against dealerships. We compete against one dealership. They've got money from Saudi. They've got so much freaking money. They've got more money than they'll ever know what to do with. And we beat them at the Auto Trader Dealer Awards. We beat them because they're bigger than us. They're more funded than us. They have a property worth 200 million rand. They have more cars. They've got more brands, but we still beat them. Because we're supposed to lose. They're supposed to win, but we didn't lose and they didn't win. That's the mentality. Everything worthwhile is uphill, and everything worth pursuing good is uphill. So love John C. Maxwell. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, Uncle Bobby. So Bauer, JP, what is your opinion on the topic spotters incentive in other dealership, and does it work in your opinion? I'm very glad you brought up that question. Like, I wish everybody understands what I'm about to say, because I can see there's a lot of my colleagues here and a lot of other dealerships. If a spotter approaches me, the first WhatsApp, say, hi, I'm Frikkie and I'm a spotter from the Eastern Cape. Hi, Frikkie, nice to meet you. Appreciate you reaching out. We don't use spotters. Thank you very much. Please don't reach out again. Goodbye. Okay. Yeah, but I've got customers from the mines. Ma'am, I know your son works here, and I'm so sorry I'm going to use a bad word again. I'm so sorry. But your son will tell you, I don't use them often. But when it comes to spotters, I always use them. So the first WhatsApp is very nice, very professional, very cool. Yeah, but I've got customers from the mines. My second WhatsApp is, fuck off. Send. That's how I feel about spotters. And here's why. Spotters will come infiltrate the dealership. They will start dictating the price of the car. So now this retard is going to come and tell me to change my car's price with 10,000 rand so he can make 10,000 rand and screw the customer that he brings here on my watch. And dealerships do it. No. And why they do it is because 2 reasons. Number one, and it's 99% of them, they are too lazy to go and build a brand that is strong on their own. And number two, it's a very small percentage of them that don't know how to do that. Lazy, and they don't know how. So now they need to rely on these retards that bring fraudulent documents from the mines. Okay, they bring cancer into your body, which is your dealership, and lift prices. There's a dealer in Gazina that lifted 100,000 rand on a car and paid 100 grand on a spotter. I don't want to name and shame him. When I found that out, I found him and I said to him, you should be ashamed of yourself. You mustn't fucking do that. That customer is going to pay 100,000 rand more on that car with interest because you don't know how to go and hunt that customer down and attract him because he had a special car. You should be ashamed of yourself. Stop fucking doing that. Spotters are not my favorite. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Mom. I won't swear again, I promise. Okay, let's go. I've got 12 minutes left. Are you the sole owner of Mitmac? Great question as well. So, no. On paper, it's my mom, myself, Elena, who's head of marketing. She's watching this, and my dad. So it's a family-owned business. I own 51% of the company, which means I get to, in very, very rare situations, make the tough call and have my family unhappy with me. But I've made it many, many times. But those situations haven't happened in years because everything that we process is logical and they understand that I lead, but in certain departments, I don't. So in the department of sales, I lead. In the department of marketing, Elena leads. In the department of the depot recon and all that other stuff, drivers, all logistical stuff, my dad leads. In the accounting department, in the admin department, my mom leads. But when it comes to sales, I lead. So that's the structure. According to the CPA, a dealership is supposed to give 6 months guarantee. Do dealers force you to take or buy a guarantee? User 523725467879. I don't know why people don't just put their names. Okay, so very nice quote I'm going to give you, and it's by Denzel Washington. And I want you to take this with a pinch of salt because poison is best served with a teaspoon of sugar. Okay, if you don't read the news, you are uninformed. If you read the news, you are misinformed. So when it comes to the CPA, unless you have studied the CPA, and you understand what the CPA actually says, a statement like this, I know it's coming from a good place. I'm going to answer it the way that you do, but perhaps I can just give you more perspective on the topic. Yes, the CPA says 6 months, but are you going to, first of all, drive the car for 6 months? The answer is no. Okay, great. The CPA excludes moving parts, wear and tear items. What on a car is not wear and tear? Okay, and it goes 12 layers deeper. So when it comes to properly educating a consumer on warranties, how they work, what the benefits are, how they pay out, what the structure is, what the danger is, because there's a danger when you take out a warranty. When you modify a car, when you miss a service, all this other stuff, the customer can make the decision. I sold the car without a warranty today. Gave the customer the option to say, I don't want a warranty. Sweet, no problem. Okay? But that happens once in 3 weeks. Because when a warranty is properly explained and the wear and tear items are properly explained, exclusions and inclusions of the CPI is properly explained. The customer is not uninformed or misinformed. The customer is educated, they can make a decision. So can a dealer force you to take a warranty? If you put me in the corner, yes or no? Of course not. The dealer cannot force you to do anything. And the dealer can also not force you to buy their car. And the dealer can also not be forced to sell you a car. No must. But if you are properly educated on the topic and you understand it 8-9 layers down, and you know what you're buying, the chances of you saying no to a warranty, if you speak to me, is 0.001%. It's not 100%, but it's very small. Hope that added value to you. What is the reason why some sales guys don't tell the truth about a car, but just to sell it for comp? So I answered this question a couple of questions ago, and some salespeople just see this as I'll answer it this way. The fee to enter this industry, the price of entry in this industry is very low. It's very, very low. Compare this industry to a pilot. The entry level, the price that you have to pay to enter the pilot fraternity is very high. It's very regulated, lots of tests that you have to do, lots of simulation hours, lots of hours in a Cessna, then a bigger one, then a bigger one, then a bigger one, then a bigger one. Lots of checkpoints, lots of training, lots of what ifs, lots of that. One day you grade and you fly Safari. The entry to a pilot fraternity, the cost of entry is very high versus the cost of entry for a car salesperson. These dealerships are so desperate. They know the salesperson stole trade-ins from that dealer, but he delivers 8 cars a month and he's a hard closer, and they employ him. I fired a guy from stealing. The guy stole from me. He stole from me. He stole from me. I fired him. Boom, fired. He works for a big ass dealership in Centurion. No reference score. No reference score. Like, dude, this guy stole 175,000 Rand from me. That's why he's fired. No reference score. Then he gets fired there because he stole. The price of entry into this industry is super low. That's why you deal with amateurs. Not all, but sometimes you deal with amateurs that just want to have a one-night stand with you as a customer and not marry you, and meet the neighbor, meet the cousin, meet the uncle, meet the drunk uncle, meet the kids, meet the dogs, see what your microwave looks like. I hope I answered your question, brother. Old pickup truck for our community and restoration project. Old pickup truck for the community and restoration project. Brother, best time to ask this question. On Tuesday, we have an auction where one of the cars is a Bantam starting at 30,000 Rand. 30,000 Rand. I drove the car up and down Pretoria North today. I was racing Elsie with a Jeep to the depot. I won. The Bantam's kicker. I won. Who came there first? When a woman argued, we weren't racing. Otherwise, I would have been first. I was first. Don't punch me. I was first. I won. End of conversation. So 30 grand. Tuesday, we're starting that Bantam 5:30 on this auction live. It's going to be a live auction. I'm sure it will sell for much more, but it's starting at 30. Okay, 5 minutes left. If I bring you a cigar, can we smoke it together? And I can tap your brain a bit on team management. Smith Wayne 4. Smith Wayne 4. I like your style, brother. But if you really wanna tap my brain, book me for a consultation. 90-minute consultation where it's super structured. You can still tap my brain. Bring the cigar, we'll smoke it together, and I'll talk to you. But you need to understand that during the day, I'm talking to you, and you're probably going to be talking to me while I'm interacting with a lot of managers, taking calls, and just salespeople coming to me, buyers coming to me the whole time. And it's going to be a very short conversation burst Even if we sit 3 hours together, we'll probably speak 10 minutes. But bring the cigar and I'll give you my best. Hopefully you catch me on a day that's not that busy at that hour that you spend. But if you really want the value and you're struggling with a specific topic, book me for a consultation and then we can go 90 minutes hard, either here in person in the studio. It's recorded, well lit, the audio is perfect, everything is good, and then packaged and sent to you so that I train the trainer and then you can inject that energy into your staff, but it comes from you, not from me. So they never get to see the video. If you want to show them the video, you're more than welcome, but you don't need to, because all the concepts and processes and procedures will be for you to keep for yourself, and then you can add the value into your team and not me. But I like your style, man. Otherwise, just send me the cigar because now I want the cigar. Would you say product knowledge is key? Absolutely. But there's one more important, very, 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 very far ahead of product knowledge that you need to make sure that you are skilled at, and that is people. Because you can know the other day, someone phones me from BMW. We're advertising a brand new M2 with 900 Ks. And I say on camera, like, this spec sheet is so long, it's longer than LZ. And I'm not going to read the spec sheet because I'm not a fucking nerd. And all I want to do is just show you the car, start it, rev the car, go up and down with this car and just have fun because that's what I want to do. I'm not a nerd. I know that it's got Alcantara roof lining. I know that it's got carbon fiber in performance pipes. Who cares? The people buying that car, they're going to ask me for the VIN. I'm going to send them the spec sheet. The people that want to enjoy my content, and my intent is not to sell the car. I'm enjoying what I do so much that it actually sells cars. Okay? I don't know if you missed that or got that. I'm not a nerd to go and read the spec sheet, but I know people. And when I say that, people are like, fuck yeah, let's hear this thing. Let's hear this full pipe. Let's hear it roll. 400,000 people see my content, and the 2 people that are actually in the market to buy a car like that reach out and will sell the car. So product knowledge is super expensive, super important, I'm sorry. And when we have the one-on-one conversation, when the customer says to me, Bobs, tell me about the spec of the car, I'm not going to tell him no, because I'm not a fucking nerd. I mean, that's retarded. I'm going to say, sir, glad you asked. Let me pull it up. Okay, here's the optional extras. Here's the standard features. Are you ready for me? Yes, I'm ready. Boom, 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 boom. Does it have this? Yes, it does. Does it have that? Yes, it does. Does it have that? Damn it, it doesn't. Okay, can we live with that? Sure, no problem. Does it have comfort access? Absolutely has comfort access. Does it have head-up display? Yes, it does. Okay, cool. Those are the extras that are important to me. Let's go. Here's the app. Fill it in. So as much as, yes, absolutely, product knowledge is key. People knowledge is key. Having said that, 7:30, we've ran out of time. Thank you very much for joining us. If anybody on this live wants to book me for a 90-minute consultation, the fee is 25,000 Rand. We go hard for 90 minutes in here, the topics that you have currently problems with. Or if you buy 2 of those sessions at 50,000 Rand, you'll have 3 consultations with me. If you want to reach out, 0825426659. Send me a WhatsApp. Tell me what industry you're in. Who do we consult for? Ours? Real estate, mechanical workshops, storage units, loan sharks, legal loan sharks, by the way. People that do small loans, micro loans, crypto.
Other dealerships.
Lots of other dealerships, countless dealers. F&Is, we do lots of F&I work. Private security sector.
Yeah.
We had the coolest uncle here the other day. He took care of the actual World Cup trophy when Pele was still playing. He's got photos with Pele and Zidane. He's an elderly uncle, but he's a freaking lion, man. So lots of industries that we consult for, between marketing, driving salespeople, how to hold a proper sales meeting, how to structure a proper sales meeting from start to finish, have an objective, and go and kill it and smash the targets that you've set up for yourself. 0825426659. We can book you for a slot. 90 minutes. It will be after hours, so from 6 o'clock, perhaps on the weekend, when my phone is not burning up and I am not distracted. The format is very simple. You send me a couple of days in advance what you're struggling with. I will poke into those struggles. What do you do here? What do you do here? Why? So I understand the problem. And then I'll put myself in the position where you are and how I came out of this. Now, I'm not going to teach you something that I'm not doing. We did of the year back to back, if and of the year 3 years in a row. And we've got salespeople selling 30 plus cars. We've got the accolades. I don't want to brag. YouTube channel, 1 million subscribers. We've done it. So I'm going to teach you what I've learned through the mistakes that we made to come this far. Having said that, I belong to lots of these groups. I still, twice a month, 90 minutes, one-on-one. One-on-one is the one, and the other one is 8 people at a time. I still pay a ton of money to PBD, a lot more than this, to process issues that I currently have, because he has built a company with 60,000 salespeople. Okay, 60,000 salespeople. So the amount of knowledge that he injects into my brain twice a month, I actively use and grow our company. Having said that, thank you very much. This was a cool one. Kebabs out. Have a